3 cars. 3 silent Brown family members. 1 woman questioning the life that brought her here. And a backstory that, until now, has remained in the shadows. Tonight, we connect 2 timelines. The infamous car standoff, and the secret journey that led Janelle into polygamy in the first place. Because this showdown didn't begin in that parking lot. It began decades earlier, with a marriage few fans even knew existed. And a mother's decision that still shapes the Brown legacy today. And as these 2 timelines collide, the truth hits harder than anyone expected. Part 1. It begins like this: a quiet morning, a neutral meeting spot, and 4 adults who swore they were finally ready to communicate. But what should have been a simple sit-down turned into a parking lot standstill, one that fans describe as awkward, childish, and painfully symbolic. Kody, already on edge, reportedly told producers he would not exit his vehicle until Justin gets here. But who exactly is Justin? A mediator, a friend, a storyline. Most fans had never even heard of him. And that's where the confusion, and the emotional unraveling, truly begins. Kody and Janelle barely speaking after months of tension. Meri existing in emotional limbo. Robyn trying to interpret everyone's motives, often adding fuel without realizing it. For nearly 8 minutes, no one moves. Janelle sits in her SUV, arms crossed, refusing to be the first one out. Meri stares straight ahead, gripping the steering wheel, unsure whether she's being ignored or avoided. And Kody, pacing inside his truck, claims he's simply waiting for someone else. Kody, we're not starting anything until Justin gets here. But here's the issue: Justin wasn't late. He was never invited. As the minutes tick by, frustration builds like static electricity. And then, Robyn arrives. Robyn steps out of her car, glancing between all 3 vehicles, sensing the tension instantly. Robyn, they're waiting for Justin, right? That's what everyone's doing. But no, that is not what everyone was doing. Janelle. Justin, who? We're waiting for you. Meri. This was supposed to be a conversation. Robyn's assumption acted like a spark on dry grass, igniting confusion and emotional misfires everywhere. Because her comment made it appear as though everyone else knew something Janelle and Meri didn't. And that instantly escalated the emotional temperature. And finally, someone breaks. The doors slam open. Voices rise. Janelle. Kody, enough games. Get out of the truck. Meri. Can we just talk like adults? Kody. Not until Justin gets here. He knows the plan. Except, there was no plan. Justin was a miscommunication, the result of a scheduling text message that Kody misunderstood. Kody thought Justin would mediate. The others thought no one else was coming. Robyn thought everyone was waiting for everyone else. The result: a showdown, born from crossed wires and emotional fatigue. Fan reaction. I felt secondhand embarrassment. This was the moment Kody completely disconnected from reality. Janelle deserved better than this childish behavior. But the twist: Justin did get the message, and chose not to come. The truth lands like a hammer. Justin knew about the meeting, he simply refused to get involved. He told us that family needs to talk to each other, not to me. This revelation shattered Kody's last excuse. It wasn't about Justin. It wasn't about timing. It wasn't about miscommunication. It was about fear of confrontation, something the Brown family had been avoiding for years. When the truth came out, the emotional walls that had separated the family for years finally cracked. Janelle, quietly wiping tears. Meri looking defeated but strong. Robyn realizing her comment made things worse. Kody pacing, unable to speak. The parking lot standoff was never about waiting for Justin. It was about waiting for a version of the family that no longer existed. This moment became a turning point, a symbolic end to the illusion of unity. Fans felt it, the network felt it, and the Browns couldn't ignore it anymore. Comment below, whose perspective do you understand the most in this standoff? Your voice helps keep these stories alive. Part 2. The truth is, Janelle didn't just walk into polygamy. She stepped into its shadow long before she ever met Kody. In her early 20s, Janelle married Adam Barber, Meri's brother. This marriage, often forgotten today, quietly tied her to the Brown family before the Brown family ever imagined she'd be part of them. But her connection to the Barbers would become the spark that changed everything. Because through that marriage, Janelle would meet a man who didn't just catch her attention, he changed her path. It was during that time, still married to Meri's brother, that Janelle saw Kody for the very first time. There wasn't flirtation. There wasn't a spark. Just a quiet curiosity, a fascination with the Brown family's faith, their structure, their boldness in living differently. And Kody, he barely noticed her. Not yet. But curiosity has a way of becoming destiny, especially when another person steps into the story. Enter Janelle's mother. What most fans don't know, is that Janelle's mother was the first in the family to join polygamy. Janelle's mother eventually married Kody's father, making Janelle, in a technical sense, Kody's stepsister. This single event changed everything. Because the deeper her mother entered the lifestyle, the more exposed Janelle became to it. She visited more often. She talked to plural wives. She learned the faith. And she watched Kody and Meri navigate their early marriage. The door wasn't just open, it was pulled wide for her. And that's when Janelle's marriage to Meri's brother began to crack. Her marriage to Adam Barber began to crumble quietly, painfully, and privately, long before the public ever knew her name. During this emotional unraveling, the Brown family became her refuge. She wasn't chasing Kody, she was chasing belonging. But belonging often transforms into something deeper. She saw the unity, she saw the structure. She saw the partnership Meri and Kody displayed in their early years. And slowly, without drama, without scandal, she began to feel drawn to Kody's energy, his certainty, and his leadership. But the real twist, it wasn't Kody who approached her first. The person who truly guided Janelle into the Brown family wasn't Kody. It wasn't Robyn. She wasn't there yet. It wasn't Meri, though Meri played an important role. It was Janelle's mother, the same mother who married Kody's father, encouraged her daughter to consider a life of spiritual plural marriage. Mother, you deserve a family that supports you. Her mother believed Janelle would thrive in a structure like the Browns, more than she ever did in the monogamous marriage that was failing. And so, the doorway opened, and Janelle stepped through. This revelation shocked viewers, because it rewrites the narrative of how Janelle truly joined the family. Fan reactions. This changes everything. She didn't just fall for Kody. Her mom basically led her there. The Brown family story suddenly makes so much more sense. Suddenly, Janelle's journey isn't about romance. It's about identity, family legacy, and a young woman trying to create stability in a world where she felt none. Her marriage to Kody wasn't impulsive. It was the final step in a long, winding path shaped by personal loss, her mother's choices, and a search for belonging that only the Brown family seemed to offer. Whether viewers support polygamy or not, one thing is clear. Janelle's story has depth, heartbreak, and strength that few fully understood until now. And as fans revisit her beginnings, the questions only grow louder. Comment below. Did Janelle choose the Browns, or was she guided into them? Your perspective drives this discussion. Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. The confrontation began long before the cameras rolled. Kody, Janelle, and Meri were called to a neutral location. A simple discussion meant to bring clarity to years of fractured relationships. But instead, it became a silent showdown, with no one stepping out of their cars. A standoff was unfolding, yet the roots of this tension stretched back decades. Back to a time when Janelle wasn't a plural wife, but Meri's sister-in-law. And that marriage, forgotten by many, was the first step toward this parking lot explosion. In the late 1980s, Janelle Shriver married Adam Barber, Meri's brother. A small detail in sister wives' history, but one of the most important. This relationship connected Janelle to the Barber family, and by extension, to the young and charismatic Kody Brown. Reddit. I completely forgot she was married to Meri's brother. This changes everything. Facebook. Janelle was tied to the family way before the show started. But back then, Janelle wasn't drawn to Kody. She was drawn to the lifestyle, the community, the structure. And then came the twist no one expected, her mother's transformation. Most viewers don't know this. But Janelle's mother was the first member of their family to join the Browns. She married Kody's father, Win Brown, making young Janelle, in a technical sense, Kody's stepsister. The Brown family has confirmed this in past TLC interviews, and Janelle detailed it in Becoming Sister Wives. This was the moment the path shifted. Her mother's embrace of plural marriage planted seeds that would bloom years later. Even as Janelle's own marriage to Adam Barber quietly deteriorated. And while her personal life cracked, her connection to Kody began to grow. Back to the parking lot. Minutes pass. No one moves. Confusion grows when Kody repeats a single line. Kody, we're waiting for Justin. But the shocking truth, there was no Justin coming. Miscommunication was confirmed by multiple behind-the-scenes accounts and fan analysis of the episode's production notes. This wasn't about Justin. It wasn't about timing. It was about everything boiling beneath the surface, including Janelle's decades-long journey of feeling both connected to, and alienated from, the Brown family. And suddenly, Robyn arrives. Robyn's arrival doesn't calm the tension. It ignites it. Robyn, aren't we all waiting for Justin? Her assumption, innocent or not, creates instant emotional chaos. Suddenly, the quiet becomes unbearable. This isn't just a standoff. It's symbolic. A family frozen between its past and its unraveling future. While filming, producers revealed that Justin, the supposed mediator, did receive a message about the meeting. He simply chose not to come. He told us, they need to talk to each other, not to me. This revelation hits Janelle the hardest, because it mirrors her entire arc with the Browns. In that parking lot, Janelle wasn't just confronting Kody. She was confronting every version of herself she had ever been in this family. Fan reactions. This was the moment Janelle emotionally checked out. Her backstory plus this scene equals everything makes sense now. I finally understand why she left. The standoff ends not with closure, but with clarity. Because sometimes, a family doesn't fall apart in one moment. It falls apart across decades. And finally becomes visible in one silent parking lot. If you're invested in the truth behind the sister wives story, make sure you're subscribed. Because the next chapter of this saga is even more unbelievable. In our next documentary, we uncover the hidden timeline of Kody and Robyn's early relationship. And why fans believe the red flags were there from day one. This was The Standoff and the Secret. The intertwined story of how Janelle entered the Brown family. And how she finally found the strength to walk away.